people of the internet, my name is Creation, and I hope you guys remember what this game is, because I know you probably have been blasted with Battlefield Hardline coverage. But today in this video, I want to talk about the possibility of seeing some Battlefield Hardline features make their way back into Battlefield 4. So previously on Dragon Ball Z, DICE created a CTE poll discussing what we like to see the red headshot indicator from Battlefield Hardline make its way back into Battlefield 4. Which means DICE is actually considering updating Battlefield 4 with some Hardline features. As you may know, Battlefield Hardline and Battlefield 4 are both built on the same engine, and they share a lot of assets. What DICE and Vistro has came out and said is that a lot of the features from CTE will make an appearance in the final release of Battlefield Hardline. But this is kind of a first, bringing features from a newer game back into an older game. This opens endless possibilities for the essential features that we saw in the Battlefield Hardline beta. One that I think that is most raved about is the being able to take ammo and health off your teammates. I think it needs to be in Battlefield 4, and I also think it needs to be in Battlefield 3. Because Battlefield 3 is still alive, but it probably won't happen. So let's say if a lot of the Battlefield Hardline features are added to Battlefield 4, will you guys be going out and getting Battlefield Hardline? Because the games are very similar with a different focus. And those features from Battlefield Hardline, if they did make an appearance, would make Battlefield 4 a much improved experience. So let me know you guys' thoughts. But in other news, Battlefield Hardline beta is available for all members on PC. So if you haven't got to try some of those newer features, I would recommend getting a taste of Battlefield Hardline. So that really wraps up all the core stuff that I wanted to talk about today. But I also have some comments and replies to you guys' questions and concerns. Mostly about Battlefield Hardline being a quote-unquote mod, and why hasn't DICE opened up mod support? Is it because they want to sell games like Battlefield Hardline? Well, I think that's not the case. If we go back and just look at the transition from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4, we will find that not much has changed. The blue tint is off, a few more gadgets, and a lot of more customization. Most notably, the visual changes. But with Battlefield 4 to Battlefield Hardline, there isn't much visual changes. Everything mostly looks the same. Minimap, HUD, kill feed, kill cam, a lot of things are the same. But what I have saw is the focus on map layout is a lot different. And if mods were to come into the Battlefield franchise, I believe they would not ruin Battlefield, but I think DICE want a certain security with their game, because if someone got a hold to Battlefield 3 and were able to mod it, I believe with the community that I have seen, they would improve the quality of the product beyond what the current game standards are. And I just think the DICE wants to kind of keep competition low, because the internet is an amazing place. I have seen some pretty amazing mods by some amazingly talented people. And if everyone was always playing the older Battlefield games and no one was buying the newer ones, they wouldn't bring in as much profit. And I think that's what they're afraid of. Personally, I think that people would buy the new Battlefield games. Not everyone is totally into modding. Modding really never hurts the community, but it only improves on what the developers had planned. And the people who usually develop these mods are very community driven. And I feel like DICE doesn't want to have to deal with the extra security issues that come with modding and the competition. And at the end of the day, it is their engine, they did build it. But something that I kind of wanted to share with you guys is that if you don't like Battlefield Hardline, don't buy it. No one is actually forcing you to go out and buy the next Battlefield title. Battlefield servers will always definitely run for a while. As we can see, Battlefield 3 servers are still pumping, and they were even pumping before Origin gave out Battlefield 3. Now, I do agree there still isn't no excuse why DICE hasn't talked to the community a bit more often. Things like HUD clutter still flood the game, and if a modder were to be able to actually go in and change how the HUD looks. It will take time off of DICE's hands because someone has already handled it. And those who actually do think that the screen is a bit too cluttered can go and download this mod, and it's easily fixed. So let me know your thoughts on anything that I talked about today. How do you guys feel about mods? I'm pretty sure they're not just really a black and white subject, and that's why I really want to know you guys' thoughts. Also tell me your thoughts on anything else that I talked about today. I hope to see you guys later. Stay creative, guys.